Okay, please pay attention. In last lecture, we were discussing about the forebrain. We have discussed about the forebrain. Today, we have to discuss about the midbrain. Forebrain has the two parts. One is the cerebrum. एक part पाहिला होता forebrainचा आपण. It was cerebrum, right? We have discussed about the cerebral hemispheres. We have discussed about the various areas over the cerebrum. Then we have discussed about the diencephalon. Diencephalon is having three regions: thalamus,
Thalami,
yes, hypothalamus,
epithalamus.
epithalamus, right? So epithalamus is connected with the pineal body, pineal gland. Hypothalamus is connected with the,
Pituitary gland.
yes, pituitary, and thalamus is having the side walls. These side walls are called as
Thalami.
thalami. Yes, very good. And this thalami passes the ducts, which these ducts are passed towards the cerebrum, right? Towards the cerebrum. And these ducts are acting as the relay center. These are acting as a relay center. As well as you can say that these thalami, which are the lateral wall, are forming the reticular activating system, right? So these thalami are forming the reticular activating system. So this is all about the forebrain. So today we have to discuss about the midbrain. Midbrain. So midbrain is the region between the thalamus, or you can say the diencephalon, region between the diencephalon and the pons varuli is the midbrain, right? So midbrain is a region between the diencephalon and the pons varuli. Let us discuss about this. So here you can see the structure of the midbrain. Okay, so here you can find the structure of the midbrain. So this is the thalamus, this is the pons, and in between the thalamus and the pons, here a region, here you can find, this is the region which is called as a midbrain. This region is the midbrain. So midbrain is located between the diencephalon and the pons varus. Region between the diencephalon and the pons varus is the midbrain. And this midbrain also shows a cerebral aqueduct. Here you can find, here from this, from the side of midbrain, this cerebral aqueduct is passing. This cerebral aqueduct is also called as iter, or it is also called as iter, iter. Cerebral aqueduct is also called as iter, iter. The cerebral aqueduct is connecting the third ventricle with this fourth ventricle. You know what is the third ventricle and fourth ventricle? This we have discussed. So this is a third ventricle which is connected with this fourth ventricle. Here is a fourth ventricle, and it is connected by the cerebral aqueduct, or it is also called as a iter. So cerebral aqueduct or the iter is present in the midbrain, and it connects the third and fourth ventricle, right? It connects the third and fourth ventricle. So let us discuss about the parts of the midbrain. So very first part of the midbrain is the corpora quadrigemina. So let us discuss about this. Corpora quadrigemina. Corpora quadrigemina. Yes, find this figure. You can first we will go with this figure. Then we will go with this. Okay. So this is the left cerebral hemisphere. This is the right cerebral hemisphere. And in between the left and right cerebral hemisphere, this region is present, right? This is a region. Here you can find this is a pineal gland. Okay. This is a pineal gland. And here at the dorsal side of the midbrain. So this side which you are observing, this is pineal gland, and this is the dorsal side of the midbrain. Dorsal side of midbrain. It is showing the four regions. Two upper region. This is one. This is one. These two upper region, and here you can find these two. One this and one this. These are two lower regions, right? So these two upper and two lower, these are the four regions you can find here at the dorsal side of the midbrain. These four regions are called corpora quadrigemina. These are called as corpora quadrigemina. If you want to note it down, you can note down. Thus corpora quadrigemina are four rounded elevations on the dorsal surface of the midbrain. So dorsal surface of the midbrain shows four rounded elevations, and these rounded elevations are the corpora quadrigemina. These rounded elevations are having some specific functions that we are going to discuss here. So here you can find two upper large elevations. These two upper large elevations are called superior colliculi. One is colliculus. Okay, plural form is colliculi. So upper two regions you can find here, these are the superior colliculi, and two lower region are the inferior colliculi. So superior and inferior colliculi are the four regions you can find, and these are called corpora quadrigemina. Just a minute. एका ठिकाणी लिंक नाही टाकलेली का? थांबा एक मिनिट. Just a minute. NEET student. So corpora quadrigemina are the four regions you can find. It is having the two upper region superior colliculi, two lower region inferior colliculi. Superior colliculi are involved in the transfer of the visual reflex. Please note it down. Superior colliculi are involved in the transport of the visual reflex. Visual reflex means suppose according to the vision you have to move your head. तुम्हाला तुमचं डोकं जे आहे ना ते हलवायचं आहे की सपोज आता डोकं म्हणजे हेड मुवमेंट करायची. कशासाठी मुवमेंट करायची? सपोज तुमच्या लेफ्ट बाजूला थोडा लेफ्ट आणि थोडंसं मागे एक वस्तू आहे, त्या वस्तूला तुम्ही तुमच्या डोळ्यांनी नाही पाहू शकत. ज्यावेळेस ती वस्तू तुम्हाला क्लिअरली दिसत नाही, यू मूव युअर हेड टुवर्ड्स दॅट ऑब्जेक्ट, राईट? सो दिस मुवमेंट ऑफ हेड अकॉर्डिंग टू द विजन, according to the need of the you can say the vision, this movement of head according to the vision is the visual reflex. किंवा तुम्ही समोर गाडी चालवताय, समोर तुम्हाला अचानक काहीतरी दिसलं, अचानक आडवं आलं काहीतरी, तर तुम्ही अचानक ब्रेक मारला, राईट? सो दॅट इज अ व्हिज्युअल रिफ्लेक्स. that too is a visual reflex, and these visual reflexes are transported, and these visual reflexes for this visual reflexes superior colliculi act as the relay center. So if you want to note down, please note down, superior colliculi are the relay center for the visual reflexes. Okay, then you can find these two below it, two elevations, small elevations called inferior colliculi. Inferior colliculi are the relay centers for the auditory reflexes. Inferior colliculi are the relay centers for the auditory reflexes. Okay, so remember this, superior colliculi are the relay center for the visual reflexes, and the inferior colliculi are the relay centers for the auditory reflexes. Suppose तुम्हाला मागून काहीतरी आवाज येतोय, according to that sound you are moving your head, or according to that sound you are showing a reflex. एखादा आवाज येतो, त्या आवाजाप्रमाणे your body is showing the reflex, then that reflex due to the inferior colliculi, that is due to the inferior colliculi or due to the audition, right? So that auditory reflexes, for the auditory reflexes the inferior colliculi is acting as a relay center. I hope you have understood this. So first we have discussed that the midbrain have a dorsal region. Dorsal region of the midbrain has the four elevations. These four elevations are called corpora quadrigemina. It has two superior elevations called superior colliculi, two inferior elevations called inferior colliculi, right? Okay. Now next is this region. Just a minute. Brain anatomy we have discussed. Here you can find. Oh. Mhm. So here again you can find the regions of the midbrain. This is the dorsal side. Now you will get what is the dorsal side of the midbrain. This is a midbrain, right? This region is a midbrain. Okay. And on the anterior side, or you can say in the ventral side of this, you can find the optic chiasma here. Optic chiasma and mammillary body. So this is a mammillary body and this is optic chiasma. Optic chiasma is the region where, please pay attention, this is midbrain, right? Midbrain is there here. Here is the region of the corpora quadrigemina, which is having two upper, at this side, two upper. This elevation is the superior colliculi. This elevation is the inferior colliculi. You can find. So this upper two, lower two. Superior colliculi, inferior colliculi. Superior colliculi is the relay center for the vision, and the inferior colliculi is the relay center for the auditory stimulus. Next, at the ventral side of the midbrain, you can find this region which is called optic chiasma. Optic chiasma is a region where the optic nerves cross each other. दोन मोठ्या ऑप्टिक नर्व असणार आहेत, because we have two binocular vision. We have two eyes, right? So in this case, we can say that two optic nerves, they are crossing in this region, which is called as optic chiasma, right? So optic chiasma is the region where the two optic nerves are crossing each other. Then this is a mammillary body. This region is a mammillary body. Mammillary bodies are unique to the mammalian brain. Mammalian bodies are unique to the mammalian brain, and it is responsible for the recollective memory. And both of these, optic chiasma and the mammillary body, you can say that it is connected to the hypothalamus or the diencephalon. Diencephalon ला connected दिसतात तुम्हाला. And it is on the ventral side of the midbrain, not connected directly to the midbrain, but it is on the ventral side of the midbrain. So please write the function of this to optic chiasma. So here you have seen where is the optic chiasma. Here location you can find. Optic chiasma is the point where the two optic nerves cross each other, and that is, these optic nerves cross each other, and these are passed towards the vision center. And you know where is a vision center. Vision center is present here, occipital lobe. So this is occipital lobe, right? So in the occipital lobe, the vision center is present, and towards the occipital lobe, these nerves are passed through the optic chiasma. On the upper side of the optic chiasma, you can find the mammillary body. Mammillary body is related with the recollective memory, and it is mainly present in the mammalian brain. It is mainly present in the mammalian brain. Okay. Chalo. Now we will see what is the crura cerebri. So first we have discussed what is corpora quadrigemina. What is a midbrain? Midbrain has a dorsal side. This dorsal side is having the corpora quadrigemina. I have shown you the figures. Now we will see what is crura cerebri. It is also a part of the midbrain. Yes. Yes, now here you can see. So this is a structure. I will make it large. Just a minute, just a minute. We will have to see this figure. Dekho. This is the olfactory nerve. Then optic nerve you can find optic nerve, and here this region is the optic chiasma. So just now we have seen what is corpora quadrigemina here. This is a corpora quadrigemina. To upper and to lower region is the corpora quadrigemina. Then here we have seen this is a location of the corpora quadrigemina, and in the upper side here the optic chiasma is there. इथे ऑप्टिक चियास्मा, आता पहा लोकेशन लक्षात घ्या तुम्ही, इथे लोकेशन नुसारच तुम्हाला समजत आहे. इकडे ऑप्टिक नर्व आहे, ऑप्टिक नर्व आणि ऑप्टिक चियास्मा इकडे असणार, आणि बरोबर त्याच्या अपोजिट साइडला इकडे कॉर्पोरा क्वाड्रिजेमिना आहे. ठीक आहे. नाउ यू कॅन सी हियर crura cerebri. We have to see the location of the crura cerebri. This is the optic chiasma, right? And this is a mammillary body. Mammillary body is present in the mammalian brain, right? And on the both the side of this mammillary body you can find this region which is called as a crura cerebri. This elevation, this elevation is called as a crura cerebri. So crura cerebri is the inferior surface of the midbrain. Remember this. Inferior surface of the midbrain is showing the crura cerebri, and it has the two thick fibrous tract. ये जो आपको दो इथे जे दोन तुम्हाला फायब्रस ट्रॅक दिसतात, हा एक ट्रॅक आहे इकडे आणि हा एक ट्रॅक आहे. हे दोन्ही फायब्रस ट्रॅक जे आहेत यांना क्रूरा सेरेब्री म्हणतात, आणि क्रूरा सेरेब्री इज द inferior region of the midbrain. These tracts are having the ascending and descending nerve fiber. Remember this. These tracts are having the ascending and descending nerve fiber, and these connect these are connected with the cerebrum. Cerebrum बरोबर हे connected असतात. एक मिनिट इकडे बघा, हा वरचा cerebrum आहे, right? This is upper cerebrum. ठीक आहे. This is a cerebrum. Here in the cerebrum you can find this posterior. This is a midbrain, right? So midbrain has this posterior region. This posterior region is the superior colliculus. Can you see this? This is superior. Here you have written here superior colliculus. This is a superior colliculus. This is the inferior colliculus, right? And here at the inferior surface, at the lower surface of this midbrain, this is a midbrain. This is a dorsal surface of midbrain, and this is the inferior surface, right? So at the inferior surface of the midbrain, two regions or the two tracts are passing. These two tracts are this. This is one and this is another. These two tracts are called crura cerebri. These are the crura cerebri or the crus cerebri. Okay. Again, in this figure also you can try to understand. Here, this is one tract and this is another tract. Both of these tracts are the tract of the crura cerebri. Okay. And here you can find the optic chiasma. Ithe optic chiasma ase. And this is a cerebral aqueduct. This will be the cerebral aqueduct. This will be the optic chiasma. And here you can find these two tracts, right? These two tracts are called the crura cerebri. So let us discuss first the function of the crura cerebri. आपल्याला ऍक्च्युली त्याचं कोणी लोकेशन नाही विचारणार आहे, बट यू शुड बी फॅमिलियर विथ देअर फंक्शन. दॅट इज व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट, राईट? सो ऑन द साइड ऑफ द pons varoli, you can see here, this is pons varoli. On the side of the pons varoli, from this side, one this side and one from another side, एक या बाजूने एक लेफ्ट साइड ने आणि एक राइट साइड, you can consider one from the left side and one from the right side. One tract is passing. That tract is called as a crura cerebri. This tract will be from both the sides. I'm trying to explain it. देखो, pons है, दोन्ही साइड ने पॉन्सच्या वरच्या बाजूने, पॉन्सच्या वरती कोण आहे? मिड ब्रेन आहे. मिड ब्रेनच्या बाजूने दोन्ही साइडला you can find a tract, and this tract is the crura cerebri. This tract, which is called as a crura cerebri, is passing the nerves, and these are the ascending and descending nerve. Ascending nerve are generally the sensory nerve and descending nerve are generally the motor nerve. So the sensory nerve and motor nerve are connecting this midbrain with the cerebrum. Midbrain la cerebrum बरोबर connect करतो आणि midbrain कोणाबरोबर connect आहे? Midbrain is connected with the pons varus. Pons varus is connected with the medulla oblongata. Medulla oblongata is connected with the spinal cord. So all the responses, all the reflexes, which are all the responses which are coming from the sensory organs are passed into the medulla oblongata. Then it will be passed towards the pons. Then it will be passed towards the crura cerebri, and through the crura cerebri, it will be passed towards the cerebrum. I hope you are understanding this. So this is a path of the nerves. It is a path of the ascending and descending nerve that is passing through the midbrain. मिडब्रेनच्या वरती डायएन्सेफेलॉन होतं आणि डायएन्सेफेलॉनचा एक पार्ट डायएन्सेफेलॉन काय एक डायएन्सेफेलॉन हॅव वन पार्ट दॅट इज कॉल्ड थॅलामी. सो थॅलामी का थॅलामीचं पण काय फंक्शन होतं? द फंक्शन ऑफ थॅलामी इज टू ट्रान्सफर द नर्व्स ऑर टू pass the nerves towards the cerebrum. So below the thalami you can find the presence of the crura cerebri. थॅलामीच्या खाली काय असणार आहे? क्रुरा सेरेब्री असणार आहे. क्रुरा सेरेब्री मधनं नर्व पास होणार, देन इट विल बी पास थ्रू द थॅलामी अँड देन फ्रॉम द थॅलामी इट विल बी पास टुवर्ड्स द सेरेब्रम. राईट. सो व्हॉट वॉज द फंक्शन ऑफ थॅलामी? थॅलामीचं काय फंक्शन पाहिलं होतं? थॅलामी was a part of the diencephalon and thalami was forming the reticular activating system. In the same way, these crura cerebri or crus cerebri are the tracts. These are the tracts which are also forming the reticular activating system. So both of these are forming the reticular activating system, and that is connecting the midbrain to the cerebrum. Right? So connect the cerebrum with the midbrain, crura cerebri. What is the function of crura cerebri? If you want to note down, you can note down. Crura cerebri are the two tracts. These are the two tracts of the midbrain which are having the ascending and descending neuron, ascending and descending nerves. And these ascending and descending nerves are connecting with the cerebrum, and they have the reticular activating system. Okay, I hope you have understood this. So just now we have discussed about the corpora quadrigemina. Corpora quadrigemina is the dorsal part of the midbrain. Here, this is corpora quadrigemina, dorsal part of the midbrain, which is showing the superior colliculi, inferior colliculi. Superior colliculi is related with the vision reflexes, inferior colliculi related with the auditory reflexes. Then the two tracts are passing from the midbrain, and these two tracts on the two sides of the midbrain are forming the reticular activating system, and these are connecting midbrain with the cerebrum. Okay. Now, in the midbrain, here you can find this one region. I will show that very specifically. I will show you red nucleus. Red nucleus. Okay, here. This is a midbrain. From lower side, we have seen this. This is a midbrain. Please pay attention. In the midbrain, you can find a gray region in the white matter. In the midbrain, you can find a gray region in the white matter. This gray region in the white matter is called as a red nucleus. It is called as red nucleus. Watch this figure. You can find what is a red nucleus. I have explained that it is a gray region in the white matter. It is called as a red nucleus. Again, you can find here, this is a midbrain. You can find a gray region in the midbrain, right? gray region in the white matter is called as the red nucleus. Again, in this figure also you can see this is the red nucleus in the midbrain, below the thalamus, below the diencephalon and the pons. You can find here. These are called as red nuclei. So mass of the gray matter scattered within the white matter. Mass of the gray matter, if you want to write, you can write. Mass of the gray matter scattered within the white matter is called the red nucleus. It is present in the midbrain. एक मार्कांसाठी हा क्वेश्चन येऊ शकतो. Red nucleus is the mass of gray matter scattered within the white matter, and this plays important role in controlling the posture and the muscle tone. पोस्चर म्हणजे आपल्या बॉडीचं जे पोस्चर असतं, आपण उभं कसं राहणार, आपण कसं चालणार, सो दॅट इज द पोस्चर, राईट. सो पोस्चर ऑफ द बॉडी अँड द मसल टोन, posture of body, and according to the posture our muscles work, right? So that posture and the muscle tone is controlled by the red nucleus. Remember this, red nucleus. So red nucleus is a mass of gray matter in the white matter. It is playing the important role in controlling the posture as well as controlling the muscles movement, and it is also responsible for the coordination of this posture or the body, coordination of the posture of the body. I hope you have understood this. So up till now we have discussed about the midbrain. So what we have discussed in the midbrain till now, midbrain is located in between the diencephalon and the pons varoli. It is located in between them, diencephalon and pons varoli. Midbrain has a dorsal region. The dorsal region of the midbrain you can find the corpora quadrigemina. Corpora quadrigemina has the two superior elevations called superior colliculi. This we have discussed. And inferior elevations called inferior colliculi. Superior colliculi is related with the vision reflex. Inferior colliculi is related to the auditory reflex. Movement of head you can consider according to the light or according to the sound. Auditory reflex. Okay. Then we have discussed crura cerebri is present at the inferior region of the midbrain. Crura cerebri are the two tracts. These are two tracts, you can say. These two tracts are passing the ascending and descending neuron. Ascending and descending nerves are passed through this, and this is connecting. Crura cerebri is connecting the midbrain with the cerebrum, right? So you can say that the spinal cord is connected to the midbrain, or spinal cord is connected to the medulla oblongata to the pons varoli to the midbrain have the crura cerebri, then it is connected to the diencephalon have the thalami, and then it is connected to the cerebrum. So this is all the link, right? So now we have to discuss about, and last point here, we have discussed about the red nucleus. Red nucleus are the gray areas in the midbrain, and these are involved in the control of the posture as well as the muscle tone. So this is all about the midbrain. Let us now discuss about the hindbrain. Hindbrain is easy to understand, सोपं आहे थोडंसं, कारण स्ट्रक्चर क्लिअरली तुम्हाला दिसून येतं. तो hindbrain has the three main region. One is pons, which is generally called as pons varoli, pons varoli, medulla oblongata, medulla oblongata, and last one is the cerebellum, right? So these three regions you can find. So pons varoli appears as a rounded bulge. Let us see the structure of hindbrain. Hindbrain. Clearly you can see here pons varoli, right? So pons varoli is the rounded bulge on the underside of the brainstem. So brainstem have a rounded bulge. This is called as pons. Actually brainstem मध्ये काय काय बघा. First this region is a midbrain. काय हा region इकडे लक्ष द्या सर्वांनी. This is a midbrain. This is pons varoli. This is medulla oblongata, and then this is spinal cord. So four regions are present in the brainstem. चार region दिसतात brainstem मध्ये. मिड ब्रेन, पॉन्स वॅरोली, मेडुला ऑब्लोंगेटा आणि मग खाली स्पायनल कॉर्ड दिसतं. ठीक आहे. So here in the pons varoli appears as a large or a bulge, a bulging region in the brainstem. And pons varoli has a band of nerve fibers connecting to the cerebrum, cerebellar lobes, medulla oblongata, and the spinal cord. So what pons varoli have? We have already discussed that the spinal cord have the nerves. These nerves are passed in this direction towards the cerebrum, various center of the cerebrum as well as the cerebellum. But the spinal cord has the nerves, and these nerves are first will be passed through the medulla oblongata, then will be through the pons. It will be passed towards the midbrain. Midbrain have the crura cerebri. Through the crura cerebri, it will be passed towards the thalami of the thalamus of the diencephalon, and then it will be passed towards the cerebrum, right? So here pons is also having the network of the nerve fiber. Pons is also having a network of nerve fiber, and these nerve fibers are connecting these cerebellum, connecting with the cerebellum and the cerebrum, right? So you can say that the pons is connected with the midbrain, pons is connected with the cerebrum, pons is connected with the diencephalon, pons is connected with the cerebrum, cerebrum and the cerebellum, right? So it is also connected with the cerebellum, as well as it is connected with the medulla, as well as it is connected with the spinal cord, right? So pons is having the several kind of nucleus in them. Several nuclei are present in the pons. Several nuclei, like which we have discussed, the basal nuclei. Basal nuclei. What is a basal nuclei? Basal nuclei are the gray spots or the gray matter found in the white matter. ग्रे मॅटर मध्ये आपल्याला व्हाईट मॅटर मध्ये आपल्याला ग्रे मॅटरचे स्पॉट्स, ग्रे कलरचे रेड 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 किंवा ग्रे कलर वाले स्पॉट्स दिसतात, त्याला म्हणतो आपण बेसल न्यूक्लियाय. सो बेसल न्यूक्लियाय आर the masses of the gray matter found in the white matter. Such basal nuclei are also found in the pons varoli. Okay, chalo. So first part we have discussed is the pons varoli. So first part of the hindbrain is the pons varoli. Okay, next is the cerebellum. We are going to discuss about is the cerebellum. Cerebellum we will discuss. Cerebellum is the posterior most part, you can say, and it is the second largest part of the brain. First largest part is the cerebrum, and cerebellum is the second largest part of the brain, and it also has the two cerebellar hemisphere, two lateral hemispheres. It also has the two lateral hemispheres. So remember, like the cerebrum, cerebellum is also having the two lateral hemispheres, and it has a region called central vermis. So let us discuss about the cerebellum in detail. Cerebellum. Just do it. Okay, what the structure? This is the structure of a cerebellum. You can find here, this is pons, and here it is a cerebellum. Okay, so cerebellum is divided into the two lateral hemisphere, and it is composed of the white matter with the thin layer of the gray matter. It is having a white matter with a thin layer of gray matter, like this. White matter with a thin layer of gray matter is present in the cerebellum. The white matter intermixes with the gray matter and it shows the tree-like pattern. Here you can find a tree-like pattern because this is a white matter which is present in a gray matter, right? So here middle in you can see the white matter present in a gray matter. This white matter present in a gray matter is forming a tree-like branches here. Tree-like pattern you can find here. This tree-like pattern is called as arbor vitae. ARBOR, arbor vitae. Arbor vitae is the tree-like pattern present which is present in the cerebellum is called as arbor, ARBOR VITAE, arbor vitae, right? So this is the arbor vitae which is found in the cerebellum. Okay, this is a region of the cerebellum you can find. Arbor vitae F they have shown this. You can see this is a tree-like branching. This tree-like branching is the arbor vitae. Okay, so the surface of the cerebellum shows the convolutions. Surface of the cerebellum also shows the convolutions. So these are the convolutions. Convolutions म्हणजे उंचावटे आणि खळगे. म्हणजे काय? Gyres and sulcus. You know what is a gyres and sulcus? Like the cerebrum, cerebellum also shows the gyri and sulci. And they also have the number of nuclei deep in the hemisphere. Each cerebral hemisphere shows a deep layer of the gyres and sulci, as well as it shows the deep nuclei in them. Deep nuclei are also found in the cerebellum. So cerebellar cortex. So cerebellum also has the two regions, cerebellar cortex and cerebellar medulla. So in the medulla, you can find these white colored tree-like branches. These white colored tree-like branches which are present in the medulla are covered by the cortex. These cortical region or the cortex region of the medulla are generally gray in color. Cortex generally gray in color, and around 30 million neurons. Remember this, if you want to note down, you can note down. 30 million neurons are present in the cerebellar cortex. 30 million neurons. 30 million neurons are present in the cerebellar cortex, and the cerebellum is well developed in the humans. In humans, the cerebellum is well developed, and cerebellum is required for maintaining the equilibrium. Remember, the cerebellum is required for maintaining the equilibrium in the body. Required for maintaining the equilibrium of the body, required for maintaining the posture of body. So the posture असेल, then our balancing, orientation posture is maintained by the cerebellum, as well as it is responsible for our voluntary movements and muscle tone, right? So remember, this cerebellum is required for our balancing or our orientation or our posture. Maintenance of our posture, balance, orientation occurs due to the cerebellum. Cerebellum is also required for keeping the muscle tone active, as well as keeping the voluntary movement, maintaining the voluntary movement. Along with the cerebellum, the red nucleus of the midbrain, lakshat gya, red nucleus of the midbrain, just we have discussed, it is also responsible for the posture, right? And the muscle tone. So both of these, cerebellum and the midbrain, have the red nucleus. Cerebellum and the red nucleus of the midbrain are involved in maintaining the posture as well as the muscle tone. जे आपण चालताना नेहमी, मी कालच बोललो होतो, चालताना आपण सरळ जे चालतो सपोज, किंवा लिहिताना आपण सरळ लिहितो, ठीक आहे. मग हे जे बॅलन्सिंग आहे किंवा आपण जे बोलतो त्यानुसार आपल्या बॉडीची मुवमेंट करतो, ठीक आहे, ते हे जे आहे, ऑल दिस is controlled by the cerebellum. It is called as the equilibrium of the posture and the balancing and the orientation, right? So according to our gesture, our posture changes, and that is controlled by the cerebellum, and in this the red nucleus is also involved. I hope you have understood. So today we have learned about the first part, the midbrain. In detail we have discussed about the midbrain, and we are now discussing about the hindbrain. So in hindbrain we have discussed about the pons varoli, and we have discussed about the cerebellum. In tomorrow's lecture we will continue this, and we will discuss about the medulla oblongata and all its functions.